Good morning. This is Jim from New Jersey. I hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful spring morning. Beautiful blue skies. So you can see it up there. There we go. A little crisp, probably in the 40s. But I want to do a follow-up video after I brought my Spyder home. So I wanted to show you real fast how it looks in the garage, and then I want to go into something very important that I learned in the process when I was purchasing the Spyder, when I was at the dealership. An amazing story of how I realized, are we ready in case of that emergency? So they were showing me how to use the bike, the salespeople there, Tristan, saleswoman, I should say. So she was showing me how to use the bike. She had the ignition on for about 20 minutes, and when I was about to get on the bike and drive off, we went to start the bike and it was dead. Even though the lights were on, there was not enough juice to start the bike. So they had to come out, they had to jump start my my Spyder, and here I am ready to take off, So I was like, oh, but this was a great opportunity to learn and experience something ahead of time before I got into a situation and I was like, oh boy, I don't know how to handle this. So they had to, while they were jump starting this, they showed me how to do it, and I learned some very important information. So I'm gonna go into that, but here's how the Spyder looks in the garage. I have it hooked up to the battery tender. All right, I got a little power supply area here, and you can see how it all hooks up, goes into the battery tender. And what's great is, like I said, I guess all Spyders, all Can-Am products, they come with this. I don't know for sure, I'm not 100%, but it is really nice to have this tether to where we can hook up and keep it charged at night. It was in the 30s last night, so I think it's important to keep it a trickle charge going. So as you can see, this is how it looks in the garage. Plenty of room. I think just got to be careful when we go into the refrigerator here. And my son, he likes to lift weights, so I got to make sure he doesn't smack any of the weights into the bike. So hopefully he's very careful. I'm going to show you with all my supplies here. I'm going to fit them in that bag. So that's going to be my travel bag for when I'm going on, maybe longer trips. And everything will be in there, so I'll make it nice and handy to get to. I'll put it in the front, and I have, like I said, all the chargers, battery chargers, tire chargers, and rain suits, covers, everything I need, bungees. So I'll put that in there. But again, going back to that story of the fact that my battery died, I'm going to go over in detail how to get into your battery area, because what I learned is very important. So the next clip I go to, I'll have the bike out here, and I'll show you what I learned. Okay, so I'm outside with the Spyder. I parked in the driveway here, and I wanted to go over how we jump start the battery. Because what happened to me when I was picking up the bike, I learned a lesson. So they were showing me how to use the motorcycle. 20 minutes, I had the bike on, and within 20 minutes, the lights were still on, but I went to get on it, start it up so I can drive home, and it didn't work. So I was like, oh, the lights are still on, but it's not working. So there was not enough juice to jumpstart, the battery. So I was stuck. So they had to come outside, the service people, and they brought a jump starter out. They had to access through the front, get to the battery, and then they had to get to the battery compartment. But I learned some valuable information. The valuable information was, you better be ready, because I wasn't ready. I thought I can just buy a jump starter and that was it, but there's an important tool that you need to be able to get in to where the battery is. So the first thing you need to do is, if you do, obviously need to get into the frunk, it's down and to the left. That will open up the frunk here. Don't mind my dog. She likes to be part of the video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. First of all, this is the battery jump starter. It's power one. I am not represented by anybody by any means. I am not sponsored by anybody, but this is one that I got online. I thought it was an excellent battery jump starter. So how you would use it is, well, first of all, it's pretty nice because it has a compass on there. It has a light. If you, in case of an emergency, you press and hold and you get a light. You got an emergency beacon. Okay. You got those two features there. And then you have a battery percentage counter here. So it's at 100%, so that's on there. That's nice. So you know how much battery charge you have left. You can actually also put your charge your phone from here and a few other devices. So it's a nice little emergency battery pack. All right. So if you knew that your battery was dead, you're going to open up this little part here and you're going to hook this up. All right. And that should plug in. Let me make sure I got it the right way. There we go. So that plugs in. So like I was saying, so you have a area here where it says connect and reverse. So it will tell you if you hooked it up correctly. So if you hooked it up correctly, it's going to be a green light, and if you did not hook it up correctly, that means you put it on reverse. So maybe you put the positive on the negative and the negative on the positive. So that's important to know. But this is a great device. Again, not sponsored by it, but that's the first thing that you'll need. Okay, so that's all set. The other important thing is, I got this off of Amazon. Obviously, I'm not going to carry a drill with me, okay, an electric drill. So this is a nice little device. Comes all together, but it is called a torque set. So you need a torque 30 size device to be able to get into the battery compartment. So here I would have had my jumper, but I would not have had this device. So it's kind of, you're still stuck, right? So great device on Amazon. It's called Lat Took, okay, whatever that is. But anyway, so this is the tool that you're going to need, and this comes just like this. And we'll be able to get into the compartment where it is. Now I did check it out a little bit earlier, and just to see what I was getting into over here. But basically, what they did was, you unzip this. If you can just show this down here a little bit. All right, you unzip the compartment, and my awesome wife is helping me film. Back a little bit. There we go. All right, that's cool. She's a great photographer and videographer. But so you open that up. This is where the tether is, and you'd have this device, and you're gonna hook it up here. I pre-did this just so I could show you, but if you didn't have this device, you wouldn't be getting in. And I did not know this, I'll tell you that. So I would have, God forbid, I break down. I have a lot of lights on this motorcycle, so I'm going to be using a lot of battery. I don't want to be stuck out there. Say I leave it on by accident, okay? That would not be good. But as you can see, again, there's that special type of top of the screw there. All right. Then what you would do is this kind of peels back a little bit, and you can get into your battery. So when you hook it up, you have this. Now, when you hook this up, you got to make sure you hook up positive first. So you would hook up red to red, and then you would hook up the black, which is negative, to the negative. Then, when you're ready to start it, there is a boost here. You hit boost, okay? So when this is hooked up, positive first, so red to red, negative, black to black. Then you're going to hit boost. It's going to jump start, so all right, so after you hook it up, then you're going to turn the ignition on, and then you're going to hit boost, okay? After it's started for a few minutes and running, you're going to take off the negative first and then the positive. All right, so that's an important sequence, okay? So hook it up, positive, then negative. Then when after you started up the bike and it's charging now, then you take off the negative and then the positive, all right? So that's how you do it. And very important to have, because I'm telling you, one day we're all going to get stuck out there. Unfortunately, I can only anticipate with the OEM battery. I heard there's better batteries out there as well. So the question is, should you or should we upgrade to another battery? I don't know yet. I'm going to see how this goes and how long I can take this battery. Again, I just can't keep spending money, so I'll work with this battery for a while. I think I'll feel more confident if I have this with me. I'll be able to get into the battery area, charge it up in an emergency. So again, thank you for letting me show you this. And then as I move on, I'm definitely going to do more travels, and I have a lot planned as far as where I want to take you, and maybe I'll come up with some new information as well. So you'll learn as I'm learning. Again, not very techy, but I'm certainly trying to learn. So thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, one last thing. I just wanted to show you how I packed everything up, because I don't want to be stuck out there in a situation where it's cold or it's too hot or it's rainy or it's, some type of crazy weather situation. So I have everything here. I have my all my supplies, my rain suits, extra gloves, shoes, everything that I need right here. And then I have a whole separate bag right here with all my extra tools. I have my battery charger. I have my tire plug kit, my tire inflator, and I want to apologize before, because I said tire charger. It's really not a tire charger. It's a tire inflator. So that's in here. And so I'm going to put it all in my storage areas. So I don't know how much room that's going to take up, but as I continue with my travels, I'm going to try to pack light. I got to figure all that out. Maybe a few pairs of shirts, a few pair of pants, maybe, a pair of shorts, swim trunks. I don't know. I got to figure it all out as I travel, but I want to pack lightly. So will I have enough room? I think I can also probably put, I've seen people, if I'm traveling alone, I can put a duffel bag on the back here. I have the rack. I can put another bag here. So I think with everything and all the storage that I have, I'll be able to make a cross-country trip on this without a trailer. All right. I don't want the excess weight and responsibility of having a trailer on the back. So somehow I'm going to figure it out. All right. Thanks again for your time. All right. So going for a ride from the Jackson area down to Atlantic City. It's a nice day. It says 72 on the screen in front of me. Not very accurate. It's about 61 degrees today. So that's I've seen on other videos that it's, I don't know what type of temperature it is. Is it like the temperature around the engine? I'm trying to figure that out, but it's certainly not the outside air temperature. But yeah, awesome day to take a ride. This is my first ride after my first impression ride. So now, with all that done, I can show you some of the sights around New Jersey and surrounding areas. Hopefully you'll join me. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm heading down towards Atlantic City today. I have to take care of something. If anything exciting happens, I'll show you. I am starting to understand why there is such a community around Can-Am Spyders. Sometimes my kids say, you know, it's a little uncool. But I'm like, really? I think it's pretty cool. But I think it's a great way to reach out and create new opportunities, new friends, new adventures. So I look forward to meeting more people, going on some group rides, and being part of it. As a registered nurse for about 30 years, believe it or not, I realize that life is definitely too short. Everybody says, wait for retirement, wait for retirement. Enjoy it then, save money. But I have to tell you, I was working in the ER. I was working at a level 1 trauma center here in New Jersey. True story. Just got to check. Sometimes this beeps in my ear. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. But so true story is that I was kind of a new nurse, and here we go. Look at this beautiful sight. There we go. This is what it's all about, getting out and seeing the sights. But I was working in the ER, new nurse, and during the day, they said we're getting a cardiac arrest. The person that came in was early 60s, maybe 63-ish. And what he was doing was he was playing golf. He was literally on the 18th hole celebrating his retirement. And the EMS brought him in through the door. They were doing CPR. And golf balls, this is an image that I'll never forget. Golf balls were falling out of his pocket. And we tried to get him back, and we didn't. Unfortunately, he succumbed to that major heart attack. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you live for each day is my philosophy. I don't know. I mean, will I ever have enough money for retirement and all the great things that come with it? Who knows? But all I know is that I'm living for today. And if that's any piece of advice that I can give you, is that if you wait too long, you never know if you're ever going to get to that point. So enjoy every day. Don't wait till retirement if you can afford it. I know financing's a little expensive right now. It was like 8%. That's a lot of money. I realize that. But I didn't want to wait till tomorrow and for that day to possibly never come. So get out there, enjoy your life. So as you can see, there was a sign there, Pinelands National Preserve. I live right at the top part of the Pinelands Natural Reserve. The distance is from this Jackson area, which is south central New Jersey, all the way down to the southern tip of New Jersey. It would take, for me to get to the southern end of the tip of New Jersey from this south central area, probably an hour and 20 minutes. Then you can take the ferry over to Delaware, the Cape May ferry. But there's some great trails back here and hiking. If you have a four-wheeler, you can do some four-wheeling back here. You can find trails for hours. So if you ever have time to do it, you got a four-wheeler, you can come on out here. There's also two huge military areas right here. You have Fort Dix. Well, I guess Fort Dix McGuire. It's a joint base now. It's enormous. I hear bombs going off in these woods from my house. They literally rattle my house. They shake it. The pictures shake. I can only imagine what they're training with. Gotta give kudos to our military. God bless our military. But the bombs shake our house, and that's just the next town over. And then you have, the McGuire area. They have the Air Force base there, and they transport personnel and planes and all kinds of military apparatus all around the country from there. And then you have Lakehurst Naval Station. One day I'll take you over there, where the Hindenburg exploded. There's still the hangar where they housed it. But here it is right in here. This is part of the military area. So a lot of history around here. People don't realize. The road I'm on right now, it's called Route 539. You could take this from central New Jersey all the way down to all the shore points. Long Beach Island, Barnegat Light, and this will also take you to the Parkway, Garden State Parkway, and you can go further south as well, towards Atlantic City, Cape May. That's another nice drive. That'll be another day. So if you're ever coming down 539, there's a great place over here, Lucille's Luncheonette, Country Cooking. It's a must go to. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes you don't even realize how fast you're going. Since I put the even amount of pressure, air pressure in those tires, it's running much better here. It's much smoother. I'm loving it. But right up here, part of the Pine Barrens here, this is where the jets practice, and they will come within 20 feet above these trees over here. You'll see the trees will become a little lower, but they will buzz this area, and it is quite a sight to see. Sometimes people come out on the weekends just to park here and watch the fighter jets come over, but I'm not quite sure how deep it goes back here, but this is a great area to come and watch some fighter jets, as you can see. This is part of Stafford Forge Wildlife Management Area. As I continue to learn more about the gauges, it's nice that you have the fuel consumption gauge up here. So right now it's showing 124 miles left. You have your temperature on the right, RPMs. I'm in 6th gear and 3,300 RPMs. Yep, so far 393 miles on here. Got it set on cruise control, 63. Awesome. I'll probably between 650 and 1,000 miles. They said I can bring it in for service. I'll do that. All right, so we're coming up to the Garden State Parkway in just a moment. And then from there, head down to Atlantic City. Show you a little bit of that. This is just a reminder. Got to be careful out there. I thought I saw a helmet here one day, but a lot of memorials on this road. God bless them. I know I was talking about what to watch out for as you're on these motorcycles. I definitely feel safer on this than I did on my previous two-wheeler when I was younger, but still, I mean, even though it gives me a sense of a little bit more security and confidence, I am still wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, as they say. I will always watch out for other drivers. I think, in addition to some of the other things I mentioned the other day about some of the main causes of accidents, it's the other people, right? We have no control over them. It's riding real nice. Since there's not a lot of trucks and cars around, a limited amount of buffering, but as soon as you start adding some traffic, I definitely feel it. As we're heading down the Parkway, I don't know if you can see, but it gets pretty marshy. We're just about at sea level here. So here it gets very marshy. Mullica River. And that's one side. The other side over there, that's the Atlantic Ocean. And way in the distance there you can see Atlantic City. Alright, so here we are heading up to Atlantic City. This is where back in the heyday, I don't think Atlantic City's as popular as it used to be, but this is where the employees used to park on the left, and they would get shuttled in. Because of all the online gambling, there's now gambling in Pennsylvania, New York. This used to be it. This used to be the place to go. The only place. So it was the place to be, and this is where they would park. But I guess technology and government, local government wanting to make money with taxes, so gambling has expanded to many areas that you would never expect. Here we are. So to my left, you have the Borgata, you have New Hard Rock, you have Harris, and if you're interested, Jerry Seinfeld is coming here. On the right, you got some of the older ones, Tropicana. Harris has been here for a while too, but every summer they have air show, which is kind of nice. You sit on the beach and watch the Thunderbirds come through. You actually can take a train from Philadelphia to here. This is the convention center. They have boat shows, motorcycle shows. They have outlet stores over here. Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival. Sounds exciting. And there's, I'm not sure if you know, but Atlantic City is named after Monopoly. Or there's Atlantic Avenue. And you can, as you're driving around, you'll see all the different streets. Boardwalk, Pacific Avenue. There's a Bass Pro Shop. But as you drive up and down the streets, you see all the names of Monopoly. So that's pretty fascinating. Caesars. I'll just make a quick right and then a left. And I'll show you a little bit of, see, right now we just got off of Missouri Avenue, and right here in front of me, this is the Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall. This is where Miss America is held, and they have rodeos in here, concerts. Yeah, this is Boardwalk Hall. You have Tropicana up here. And I'm going to show you a little, share a little fun fact with you up here. Well, this is an interesting block on Atlantic City. This was the old Ritz-Carlton. It is now condos. And I just wanted to show you something real fast. Right here on that area over here where there's like brick and there's a side window, that's a two-story area. That's where the Miss America suite was. So that's where Miss America would stay after she was crowned. And maybe I can do this real fast. I can show you the boardwalk. Hopefully I don't get towed, but or somebody doesn't steal this. Let me just do this real fast. I'm gonna turn this off, take the key. We're in Atlantic City, you know, but yeah, I have a friend actually that owns that suite right now. Matter of fact, I used to have a patient that I used to infuse in there as a nurse. But real fast, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like over here on the boardwalk, and then I got to walk back because I don't want to get towed. But here we are. Let's see how it looks. There's the boardwalk. Hard Rock. Doing a lot of construction. The steel pier is over there. And how can I not come here real fast and just show you the beach? and then I gotta head out, but at least you can see the Atlantic Ocean. Here we go, squirrel. Well, it is March, so hey, squirrel. Hey, what's going on? Whoa, friendly squirrel. There it is. Yeah. That's what it's all about, getting out and seeing all the wonders of the world. Alright, here we come. Coming back to the Spyder. Parked illegally here, but just wanted to show you what it was like up there. Alright, so from there, we'll make a right here. And you can see right off the boardwalk here, you got old homes that have been here for years. The property must be worth an enormous amount of money. I'm shocked that they have not built more around the boardwalk area. They do have an aquarium here as well. And as we go up this road, there are many, many more casinos. Eventually you come to the Hard Rock, and there's a lot of lights on this road. I don't think we're ever going to make it. It'll take a half an hour. All right, heading out. Fun place to come, but definitely set a limit on how much you want to lose, because they're going to take your money. Promise you that. Alright, this is my first evening ride. I'm on my way home from Atlantic City, and it's dusk. There are a ton of deer out at this time, especially on this road, so I'm going to be extra cautious. I have to tell you, my first real road adventure. It's pretty magical. I was driving, I was listening to the radio, and or I should say riding, not driving, right? I don't know what's the terminology, but pretty magical. The things you notice on a motorcycle versus a car is extraordinary. Like the birds flying, you know, just trees, the sky. Like, you don't have that ceiling above you, unless you have a sunroof, but I see the draw. I see what it's all about, and I like it. So I can really get used to this. Like I said, pretty magical experience. I can only imagine going on longer trips. Like I said, one day taking this cross country and the experiences people have on their motorcycles. I see it on YouTube and I watch it, and you see the stories, and I get it. So you can kind of see how it looks here with the lights. Pretty darn awesome. The sun just went down. It is about 45 degrees. I have heated seats on, grips, a few layers of clothes, and that's where the sun went down, over there. Very peaceful, very peaceful. So, hope you enjoyed the ride.